Howdy folks, welcome to another episode of the Rifle Church channel. Today we're going to be taking this beautiful little 1946 number 5 Mark 1 Jungle Carbine. We're going to zero the rifle. Currently it is shooting low at 100 meters. It has a 0.45 front blade on it, and it is obviously way too tall because the group is too low. And so we're going to put a significantly shorter front sight, bring the group back up to where it needs to be, and establish a 200 meter zero with this rifle. I have not experienced any problems with the wandering zero with this particular rifle. It seems to be bedded in all the right contact points. I think I probably should have a block under the front strap here somewhere. It's not, it's free floated. So let's get to it. Let's see what this thing can do. I'm not out here to shoot precision today. I'm just trying to get a rough zero established with this rifle. So when I have it on 200 yards, my point of impact is at 200 yards. We'll be starting at 25 meters, aiming at a tiny little 1 inch, basically a bullet patch size target at 25 meters. We're going to verify, okay, this is where it's at. I know it's shooting low at 100 meters by a significant margin. It has a .045, a plus .045 front sight. It needs to be significantly shorter. I need to bring that up. However, we're going to just run through the process starting at 25 meters, and we'll film the whole thing. Now I did make a video based on the zeroing the number 4 Mark 1 rifle. However, we're going to run through the same process for the number 5 Jungle Carbine. It's the same process. However, I don't really have the fine adjustability as I do with the number 4 because I can't use the beautiful front sight adjustment tool that was made for the number 4 rifle. So let's get started. I'm just going to start with a 3-round grouping at 25 meters. See where we're at. Yeah, by the way, I have made some modifications to this rifle. I've put a new ejector screw in here. It's a little bit longer because it was not feeding reliably previously. Here we go. Oops. Make sure your rear sight is set to 200 yards. Oh yeah, that ejects way better. Boy, does that ever bark. They got baffles built into this new shooting shed. It's beautiful, by the way. It's got lights and electricity and everything now, but it's much louder, especially when you got a short-barreled rifle like this one. Okay, let's go look at that. Okay, so here's our grouping right here. This was the point of aim, the 6 o'clock position of this square right here. All right, the grouping should be approximately 3/4 of an inch high for a 200 yard zero. We're unfortunately about, it's about an inch, maybe an inch and a half. We'll see. It's probably right there, but we'll say an inch and a half. So each variation of front sight, if you go to a shorter front sight, each 15 thousandths of an inch, 0.015 inches, is a variation from sight to sight to sight. So I need to go, if that's a 0.45, I need to be 3/4 of an inch high. This is a 0.45. Okay, so let's got to figure out the math in order to do this. So that'd be 1 size, 2 size, 3 sizes, maybe 4 sizes lower. So I'll figure out what that is and try this again. Okay, so here we go. We got the rifle set up here. So the aft end of the stock is on a beanbag, so I don't want to scratch the wood, obviously. And we're going to remove that front sight. After I choose an appropriate, I need to get a brass punch. I don't have any brass punches, so I'll just have to do the best I can. Here we go. Now these things are peened right in the middle of the front sight, so sometimes these can be a challenge. Oh, it's going to move just easy. And put a finger on the lower side to catch it. Good. And there's our front sight. And put the new one in. It's a long branch marked front sight, but it'll work just fine. Yeah, went too far. Thankfully, whoever put this in, put the peen right in the middle, so that's a good good target. Okay, let's shoot this thing again. Not worried about horizontal at this time, we're only worried about elevation. The ammunition we are shooting today is a Hornady 174 grain full metal jacket, IVI brass, and IMR 4350 powder. Okay, still at 200. Yep. Okay. Let's do this again. Hopefully we should see a marked improvement. Okay, right on. Here's with the minus 0.15 front sight. We're right around here, which is about the right elevation, 3/4 of an inch high. Should be kind of the center of your cluster. I probably could have gone with a 0 size front sight. Probably would have been a bit better, but let's test this out at 200 yards. Obviously, I'm going to shoot one more grouping. I'm going to move that. If the grouping is shooting to the left, you move your front sight to the left. If you're looking from the rear of the rifle towards the front of the rifle, you're going to drift your front sight to the left to bring this group back to the right. And we'll scribe it and we'll just tap it because we don't need to move it too much. So probably 1.5 inches, and so that'll be about 2 thou. Okay. Moving it to the left, just a little bit. This should be good to go after this 25 meters, and then at 100 meters, we'll fine tune it just a little bit for windage. We should be about 4 inches high at 200. 4 inches high at 100. And then dead bang on at 200. But we'll just, fiddling and farting around with the Enfields when you're trying to get them zeroed, you gotta just dedicate the time to do it. All right, it is a little bit time consuming, but once you do it, you'll be like, it totally transforms the usefulness of these rifles. Okay, that's the last grouping at 25 meters. I obviously took a little bit too far. One tap too many. I'll bring it back the other way, but next target is going to be at 100 meters. Alright, there we are. Jungle Carbine off bags, 100 meters. Now you may be looking at that target and thinking to yourself, well, that's not very impressive. Again, I'm not here to do precision shooting today. I'm trying to get this rifle zeroed. And also one of the things that I'm doing today is I'm getting an uncanny amount of damage on the neck of each round that is fired. There's nothing wrong with the chamber. I think that the cartridge, when it hits the ejector screw, that thing flings around so fast it hits the charger bridge and it dents the neck. I think that's what's happening. So I've taken some slow motion footage of me shooting the rifle, and this is the target that I shot to do that. I was aiming as best as I could, but I was running the action as fast as I could to see if the slow motion camera will pick it up, but we'll see later. So that's essentially it. That's my 200 meter zero, which should be about 4 inches high. That's about right. 4 inches high is about the center of the group. It's a little bit to the right. Tapped it over just maybe a little bit too far. And that's not a big deal at 100 meters, but at 200 meters, that group's going to be over here. Right, so that's no good. So that's got to be fixed. I'm going to tap it one more time and see if I can't hit some steel at 200 meters over there and call it a day. But man, this rifle is light, it's handy, it's beautiful, but it sucks to be shot off the bench. You guys know that already too, don't you? Anyway, let's tap it over and shoot some steel. Yeah. Let's do it. Top steel. That's it, folks. That's it. You know what? Here's the thing, is that every rifle's got their kind of unique characteristics. Doesn't matter if you're talking about a Model 70 Winchester, pre or post 64. Doesn't matter if we're talking about a military Mauser 98, Mosin Nagant, Model 94 Winchester, Tikka T3, or the Enfields. They all have kind of like the unique characteristics. And setting into Lee Enfield is just kind of one of those things you need to know about before I think you'll be happy with it. You know, you got to know what front sight you specifically need to purchase based on what you have in your rifle now, okay, and be able to figure out, okay, I'm a 0.45, I need to be a minus 0.15, and then I'm zeroed at 200 yards, and my sights work suddenly. I can go up to 300, 400, and I'll be pretty darn close. I mean, we won World War I and World War II for a reason, folks, and one of the reasons is because of the adjustability and your ability to zero the Lee Enfield rifle. Yeah, so every rifle's got its unique characteristics. Lee Enfield's no different. Yeah, you're going to have to dedicate some time to do it. But, you know, learning about it and watching videos like this is kind of the first step in order to set you on the path for success. And so that's kind of one of the reasons why I make these videos, is because I want to pass that information on. So that, you know, if I can help people to avoid a little bit of frustration, then I'll do it. It'll take you an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, to get a set right. I also recommend you zero from the shooting prone supported rather than a bench like what I did today. I was just trying to get it roughed in, right? You hit the stuff when you have the time, when the opportunity arises. You're busy, I'm busy, we're all busy, right? We try to fit the time in when it's available to us. And so it may take 1 or 2, worst case scenario, 3 range sessions for you to get it figured out. Like I pretty much got it figured out in 1 range session, about an hour and a half. Yeah. So you can do it too. Hope you found the video useful, folks. Cheers. And as always, Maple Leaf up.